How to create effective independent practice with ChatGPT. Have you ever taught a lesson, watched the students complete independent work, then realize you don't know whether they've achieved their success criteria? Many independent activities allow students to finish the work without ever demonstrating whether they've achieved the success criteria. In this video, I'll show you how to fix that with ChatGPT in just a couple of minutes. Let's have a look. The first thing we need to do is create a lesson so we can see how we can improve the independent practice. I would like a grade 6 lesson on persuasive writing on the topic of should students do homework. I would like a learning intention, 3 success criteria, explicit teaching, guided practice, and independent work. Now this is my general structure for a lesson, so let's see how it did. We have our learning intention, our success criteria, explicit teaching, and we go down a bit further and we'll see guided practice. And what we're looking at today is the independent work. Now I want to compare how the success criteria look against the independent work. So I can compare the success criteria against the independent work. I want you to give me an original copy of the success criteria with the original independent work underneath it. This will just make it easier to look at. So we have our success criteria, and then we have our independent work. So it says I can clearly state my opinion on whether students should have homework. Write an opening sentence that clearly tells the reader what you think. That's not too bad. Okay, we'll look at the second one. I can give at least 3 reasons with examples or evidence. Write 3 reasons that support your opinion. Explain each reason by giving an example. Still not bad. And we go down to the third one. I can use persuasive language to write a concluding statement to convince my reader. So it says use persuasive words throughout your writing. So this independent work is a good start. We have to be mindful not to just do independent work that makes the students busy, and we have to also be aware that the independent work should be strongly linked to the success criteria, which there is a fair link here, but I think we can do much better. So I'm going to create a prompt that will improve each activity so it's strongly aligned with the success criteria. So here's the prompt. I want you to rewrite the independent work by aligning every task with one or more success criteria. They need to be gradually increased in difficulty, provide sufficient practice for mastery, include opportunities for students to explain their thinking, include tasks that check for common misconceptions, generate this improved version. Now there was a lot in there, and this will be the prompt that we have in today's lesson. Let's see how we did. So success criteria, I can clearly state my opinion. Students should choose their position. Yes, which is what we had before. Now we've got explain your thinking. Why did you choose this position? Write 1 or 2 sentences explaining your choice. So that was a little bit better than just an opening sentence as to which way you wanted to go. Let's look at success criteria 2. I can clearly state my opinion and give at least 3 strong reasons with example and evidence. So that was the same, but then once again we're explaining the thinking. Which one of your 3 reasons do you think is the strongest? Explain why it is most convincing. Once again, it's reinforcing the success criteria. I can give at least 3 strong reasons with examples or evidence. So this is the second criteria as well. This is criteria 1 and 2. This is the second criteria. And now we're going down to covering criteria 1, 2, and 3. And our task 5 is doing all of them as well. We're not just looking at one success criteria at a time, we're actually combining all 3. And that has made it much, much stronger. So I hope you can see that the revised version is so much stronger than the original version. And there's a couple of reasons for this. 1, we're getting the kids to justify their thinking. And 2, each task is building on the previous task. And number 3, we're combining the success criteria as we go along. If you had to decide tomorrow which students understood the lesson, this version gives me far more confidence than the original one, which is what refining is all about. Okay, let's create a reusable prompt. I want you to create a reusable prompt for independent practice using the format we use today. So we have a reusable prompt for high quality independent practice, and we talk about the things that we talked about earlier, aligning every task with one or more success criteria, sequence of tasks from simple to complex, provide enough practice, include opportunities, at least one task that checks for common misconceptions, which is really important, and progress from recall to application, and finish with a self-assessment. So these are fantastic criteria for creating independent practice. I'll make sure the reusable prompt is in the description for you to use after this video. All you have to do to use it is to change the learning intention and success criteria, and then you just use the prompt and away you go. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing for more practical ways to use AI in the classroom. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.